QA from Discord randos. Okay. Hang on, boys. We're gonna do the QA real quick. Hello, how you doing?
Good, good. Yeah, so I missed when you were talking about it. I'm sure you talked about it in the past because you did early voting, right? Same as I did.
Correct. Yes.
Was there a long?
I
You
did.
went
I
in
did. I did
person?
early voting in person. Correct.
Okay, I did the same thing. So were the lines? I meant to ask you if the lines were long for that.
So actually, no, not at all. So because I am in a very red state that is very conservative, yeah, out here, voter suppression doesn't exist. I have a very generous 10-day window of early voting. We had a pretty generous absentee ballot, mail-in ballot processing system. You know, certain states by comparison, I remember hearing one state, I think it was Alabama, was like, you have to mail off a verified certificate that you're COVID positive to get an absentee ballot. Like, it was like that stupid, or that was proposed at one point to give you an idea of how stupid it got in certain sections of the attempted voter suppression. But no, in Louisiana, no, we actually have it pretty good. Our voting machines are like fancy touchscreen jumbo iPads. Everything was digital. It was very, very clean, very sterile, not shitty or run down at all here. All of the public libraries were used for voting centers, so they were spacious. They were accommodating. It was coordinated. I went on my second to last day for early voting. Polls opened at 8 a.m. I was there at 7:30. The line had like maybe 25 people ahead of me in Venom, and we were there at 7:30. We were leaving by 8:15. Very, very painless. But of
That's really
course,
interesting.
but
Like
of
I
course, it was
don't know,
mad
just for
easy.
Louisiana, I'm just surprised by that. Like with it being not like a early vote, it doesn't seem like the sort of state that would be friendly towards that. I'm in
Why
Tennessee, and there
why
were.
wouldn't it be? It's Republican as fuck. They have nothing. There's no liberals here
I
to like
guess
worry
there's just
about.
nobody there. Yeah, I'm in like in Hamilton County here in Tennessee, which is not like super conservative. I mean, the whole state is, right? But like, it's not Nashville, which is more liberal. But like, there's a mix here. But there were hour-long lines the entire in time we had early voting for basically the entire county, and we're not like a tiny area. I don't know. Like, I think it would have been better on the day of because you should have more polling places open. But like, more than half of our voters did early voting in
Have you checked
person.
your district? Because if it's like speculated to be majority Democrat, then that's probably why. Um,
No, see, like, I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers for our county yet, but I can tell you this area is definitely not
I'm
majority.
thinking, okay,
This
like
is the
if
Truman
you
route.
have like a blue county and a red state, probably will get shit over. If you're like not where all the, I hate to say it here, if you're not where all the black people live or where the
Right.
poor sections are, then you'll probably be fine too. It's they will particularly target where the minorities are, where the poor people are, because it needs to be in a way where it's like, damn, dude, this line's 5 hours
Obvious.
long. It's fucking
Yeah,
trash. I got
yeah,
work
yeah.
tomorrow. My kids are crying. I gotta get the fuck out of here. So they did
Which,
not
like, just
voting.
south of here in Georgia, that was definitely the case. Like, I was seeing videos from like North Atlanta and stuff where that was the case, and then it ended up being a really relevant place for the election, which is just crazy that you were seeing all these lines and stuff down in like North Atlanta and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, man, it's crazy. Then you add in like then what? You go like near like Laredo, Texas, and over there they have like the obscene like voter ID laws where it's like you need like your left testicle and like 5 forms of identification to get an ID done that way, and your ID has to be like blah 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 to even go vote. It's like ridiculous. So
Yeah, I
like
mean, our photo ID laws here are pretty. I mean, we have to have it, and I've always had it, so I haven't questioned it. But I'm a middle class white guy. Like, it's never gonna be an issue for me.
yeah, it gets pretty insane.
So
If you're trying to think, if you're like on a visa or any kind of green card shit and you don't speak a lot of English, they make it pretty inconvenient via the language barrier to try to just get in there and vote. Honestly, that's really what happens here, I would say.
when I lived in Miami years ago, like that whole city, like all of Miami-Dade is designed around Spanish and English and Creole. Like the city is very multilingual. It's very friendly to that. But like outside of that area, outside of places like that, I've not seen like that default expectation that there's going to be multilingual people around. And like definitely not here in Chattanooga, even though I'm sure we actually have a pretty strong Korean presence. We have Spanish speakers here, so I mean there's a mix of everything. But yeah, so Tennessee had Kanye on the ballot, and you asked about it, and I mean, I don't know, maybe you'll talk to a Kanye vote or not. I almost considered it, and literally the only reason was because it wouldn't have affected the state's outcome. And I just in 2016 I voted for Gary Johnson here, not because I cared about it, but just because I wanted to see more third party representation.
Yep.
And it would have been basically the same thing here, and so it's a toss up for me. Do I want to send a stronger message against the administration by just making his chances as slim as possible, or did you want to say the same thing as last time? I was like, hey, a third party, like, because I don't care about Joe Jorgensen.
So I understand the intention there, but like,
Yeah.
why not give that vote to Green Party, who could use the boosted representation and theoretically get to their threshold where they can get increased federal subsidies to be able to run future campaigns.
Very good point. Like,
and give it to Kanye, who's gonna like,
who doesn't need it, and it's a joke. I just wanted to, if I had voted for him, it would have been to see if he could eclipse a legitimate third party as like a name brand vote.
Even if he
didn't.
did, what of it? What you want?
Oh,
What you want
no,
The Rock to
nothing.
run in 2024? What you want like Oprah to run in 2024? What you
I'm
want
genuinely
more
curious
jackass celebrities to get in here and do more shit?
No, I don't. I think the whole system is screwed, like in that regard. I'm genuinely curious, and I think seeing I mean, he didn't get on the ballot everywhere. I want to know if the average American voter is so Amerifat, or whatever you want to call it, like just so averagely American that they would literally just vote for American Idol over the political process at this point. You know, we have our two-party system, and after that, who would you vote for? Would it be the next best third party, or would it be the person whose name you recognize on the ballot? And truthfully, he didn't, right? I mean, he didn't even get 1%. Like, I like knowing that. I don't regret voting for Biden in Tennessee over Kanye.
Oh, I hear you. So I voted Biden in Louisiana, which went literally nowhere because Trump won by like over 20%. I want to say it was like 22% went towards or 22% was the gap between Biden and Trump in Louisiana. At least it was pretty fucking hopeless. Like only New Orleans had like any blue happen. It was just pretty much red everywhere else, and it's pathetic. It's kind of exhausting, honestly. And the state's really fucking low tier, actually. But
yeah,
you know, it is what it is.
Obviously, I mean, I'm surprised honestly that Georgia is as close as it is. I mean, even knowing that Atlanta is very Democratic, like I'm still honestly surprised. I mean, with Florida it being called before Georgia blew my mind, to be honest. So, I mean, that's the way it goes.
Florida
but, like,
being called early. Well, okay, so when I gotta go soon because I know I got like a lot of people after you, so I'm already giving you way more here. But Florida being called earlier doesn't surprise me because Florida has like one of the most generous early processing and counting of mail-in ballots out of all the states in the country. So like Florida being called early as hell is unsurprising at this point. And the thing is, I don't know if that law changed due to the Gore Bush election fiasco or not, but yeah, Florida can process their votes pretty much as they come in, as compared to other states where like the early ones may be able to process prior but not count until day of election, compared to the average state, which generally can't touch anything until election day or until election polling locations are closed, you know. So that's why Florida was called so early, because they had everything already in there.
Because the systems were in place. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, okay.
Right.
Are we
much appreciated? Yeah. No,
yep.
I move on to the next one. Thanks, man.
All right. Later, bro. Hey. Hello.
Hey.
Who is this?
This is Pie Me Up.
All right. What's up, dude? What you got?
What
is your question today, sir? What do you got for me? What's on your mind?
So my question for you, it's kind of a two-part follow-up. So I want to know how you feel about Canadian politics, actually, because I know obviously the American election is such a big thing. You know, it takes up 90% of my news, but you don't hear so much of Canadian politics. I guess because of our election cycle is a bit smaller than yours. But yeah, I want to get your thoughts on that generally.
Ooh, this is a good call here, actually. So I admit, I actually don't know a lot about Canadian politics because things are so fucked in USA. Honestly, to give you an idea of how bad things are for me as an American POV here, not that I'm trying to like further fuel the whole like, I care about America, fuck the rest of the world. It's more like things in America are so fucking bad. I can't even like get back to like climate change because our infrastructure right now is so fucked. I can't even like get to that point anymore. So I'm super out of the loop on Canadian politics. I would tell you, look, if aliens were invading tomorrow, I wouldn't even give a shit. So I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. Like, USA's fucked. The Earth's gonna fucking be a fucking Sahara desert worldwide by 2070. We're fucked anyway. What aliens gonna do? Like whatever, dude. I don't even care anymore.
Yep, just
So
ended already.
you'd have to fill me in, bro. I don't know what's going on with the. I would actually ask you, how has Canada handled immigration thus far with the COVID cases in USA being so bad? Are Americans currently banned from traveling to Canada?
Yeah, so the way that works right now is you're only allowed to travel through Canada if, say, like you're going to Alaska from the States. And a lot of people actually from America were going through Canada just saying that they were, but they were actually like found in like PEI or Nova Scotia, something like that. And they would get fined and arrested and deported back.
Ooh, damn. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know. I feel like you can. It's gonna be pretty hard to like not leave footprints and evidence of like just kind of like not having been to Alaska when you get back. But
Yeah, it definitely gets a
yeah,
lot trickier too. And there's
hmm
some people who have like dual citizenship, so they might have like a New York plate or something going through living in Toronto half the time. So that's when it gets a little tricky. And some people get a little prejudiced against it, I would say. They're kind of like go home plague rats, but you know
well,
what I mean?
so I admit I'm a little bit behind because like the last thing I can recall about Canadian politics was this might be old news now, but didn't Justin Trudeau didn't he have like, wasn't there like an incident where like he had like blackface and he had to like admit.
Yep. Oh
Okay,
man, that
how long ago
that
was that?
okay.
That was how many months ago?
That was last year during our election cycle. So man, our election cycle, it's a lot shorter than the Americans, but it is wild because everyone's just pulling out everything they can just to get stuff out in that short bit of time. And that was one of the things that came out flying out of nowhere.
Yeah, this is the last thing I saw about politics there. I mean, yeah, this is it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know much about the politics there. Yeah, your elections are shorter. That's actually a good thing. I mean, here in America, it's exhausting. It's never ending here. It's ridiculous. I wish I had more to talk about there. I don't know anything. Is it going well? I guess tell me how you feel about your elections right now.
Um, it's okay. That's how I feel. I'm actually wanting to
You know,
run
actually,
for a member of
I did
parliament.
hear that the MAGA culture is kind of getting spread out to certain spectrums of Canada. Is that true?
Unfortunately, I live in downtown Ottawa, and I've seen one or two of those marches. It's horrible.
Yeah, I heard that it's not so much like a pro-Trump thing. It's more like an anti-science thing, where it's like they don't want to do the masks. They don't want to do all the provisions that will stop the spread of COVID. Correct?
Yeah, yeah, it's very strange. But I tell you what, I'm gonna wrap it up here for everyone. So again, thanks for letting me in here to ask you a question. If you have any questions about Canadian politics, my man, feel free to ask me because I don't know. I like to think I'm
Okay.
very well
I will definitely hit you
informed.
up, man. I'll hit you up, bro.
What up?
Oh shit. Okay. Well, hello, sir. How are you doing today? What's on your mind? Who is this?
All right, so I'm gonna keep it on the same. Well, less heavy than what Darkwing was giving you. My fucking god. But
It's
still in
cool.
the same realm.
I can swing with them, dude. I did my best on that one.
Yeah, yeah. So my thing is mainly just representation. I beat chat or I beat this over the head of chat like every single time we talk about that shit. We talk about roster on Smash, right? Representation. I'm
Yep.
always talking about how there's like 82 characters on the game, like 51 of them are like humans, and only one's like possibly considered black, right? My thing is just that I feel like in gaming, it seems like black folks is always just thrown in the background. Like we're always supporting, we're always just in the just in the backs with props, stickers, assist trophies. None of us are playable. We're options. Like if you look at like Villager, shoot, who else?
Oh yeah, just the
Inkling,
alt skin.
right? We're never in the forefront. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's always to be like I don't know what it is personally, but it just seems like if there are there for me at least, I think that there are a myriad of choices we can have for black characters in Smash, in games, right? Just whatever. Like if this is supposed to, if Smash Brothers is supposed to be a celebration of iconic gaming characters, why is it that we can't get one?
Okay, so this is actually a pretty fun question here. So let's get into it, right? So my counterpoint here, if I were to play devil's advocate with you, now I'm not going to disagree with you and say that black representation in Smash wouldn't be phenomenal, but let's explore the hypothetical here, okay? You're so Masahiro Sakurai is the director right now. He's pretty super ultra hands-on.
Put me in, coach.
Oh, we'll join a Discord, Darkwing Doug. You can get in there. I mean, discord.gg/trihex. Anyone can join. You don't have to be a sub. You can get in there if you want to. So knowing that Sakurai is very, very hands-on, very, very intimate with all the production level details he wants to get into and all that here. You say you want black representation in Smash. I would ask you, do you feel that it would work out well for a Japanese man to try to address racial representation in a Smash Brothers game when there was already outcries over the most like minimal of stuff with the Native American skin that appeared for one of Game & Watch's attacks? Like, that was considered racist. Not saying it wasn't, but the fact that something so questionably minimal, like, you know, it was only one of the attacks and it was like, you know, kind of like a Native American costume, if I recall correctly. Do you really think they want to touch representation or touch anything heavily political like that with a 10-foot pole at all?
Well, I mean, their homies at Namco Bandai, I think, do an exemplary job of adding representation in its roster without having to necessarily compromise for many of those issues. At least if they do, their lead developer addresses those things head on. In fact, he went so far as, you know, going over Middle East and getting their views and gave them their own Middle Eastern character in Shahid. And that dude's dope. Like, he's not like, I don't think he's a caricature.
Well, better yet, let me ask you this, okay? So, like, let's say hypothetically that we can greenlight any character we want at this point in the Smash. Who is, like, is your question here, why hasn't Smash specifically added a black character? Or is your question that we lack black characters in gaming altogether and there's actually no one good enough to add in Smash to help that black representation? Because I asked you, is there any good black characters you'd want to see added in Smash that would help address this problem? Do they exist?
There are. I can, like, Rodon, like, shit, Barrett, like, I mean, but these are like throwaways, and that's kind of like I want to get away from like what specific characters and just get more to the why, which is a part of the second part, and it's why is it that where there's never really a mainstream iconic black character, and if so, why is it that it's only in the way that they want us to be seen, not as we would ideally want us to be portrayed? Because someone in chat just said Balrog, and I cringe because Balrog fucking woo boy, you talking about like a bad one. But I mean, yeah, like why is it that we don't have that, do you think? In gaming, why is that never prevalent?
So unfortunately, I think the answer is because that in general in tech, it's a very white male dominated field. So when you look at the wealth of engineers and programmers they're typically overwhelmingly white and male. Females and minorities are very highly outnumbered in that. And so that can kind of be reflected in who is promoted to making executive decisions and or story derivatives and all that here. You know, if the issue right now is that, you know, the screenwriters in Hollywood are overwhelmingly male and need more female representation, I think that can be mirrored like probably tenfold as well into gaming, where you can just kind of see there's no black representation, because what is a geeky programmer from Nebraska who like got hired at IBM gonna fucking do with like a black narrative when they don't know shit about being black? So ultimately you need more initiatives done to where like there's more opportunities for black people to be able to, like, I don't know, honestly just be able to get out of those like socioeconomic factors that lead to them not being able to pursue getting in the tech industry, I would imagine. Like, you'd have to, like, I promise you would see more black people tell black stories confidently, keyword there, confidently, if we address socioeconomic factors that were prohibiting them there. Again, I would to answer that question, I would even go far as mirror here, like, why are there so few black female Twitch streamers? I made the answer there is because, like, the black female must endure both the racism that a black streamer would have to deal with and the sexism that all the females deal with here. So whereas the non-black females hypothetically endure all the harassment but feel very, very alienated and objectified, the black female doesn't even feel welcomed in the gaming spectrum comparatively here. So they're not even engaging in the Twitch atmosphere entirely. Now that sounds very, very downer, but that's I do want a keyword here. That is my speculation. So look at that and kind of like try to mirror that into probably where we are with black representation in gaming.
I'm nodding my head, but you can't see it.
Cool. Ooh, I got facts. Feels bad, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to make y'all feel bad. I'm just being real here. Now, on a positive note, I do think it will get better. The problem is, it will get better eventually. The problem is, it might not get better at the pace that anyone's gonna be happy about. It might be like another 5-10 years before we really get there. Because the question you have to ask yourself here is, okay, like, there's not black people in this space to tell those genuine, authentic black stories, to create these authentic, great black characters. So it's gonna have to be a team of white people to do that, or white people being consulted by black people to do it.
Hex, your 5 minutes are up.
Yes, sir. Okay. Kick him out. We gotta go. Kick him out.
Right.
Vroom.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Get out of here,
Kick
combo.
him out. Next one. We gotta go. Vroom.